The next point that we're going to look at is this number right here. This is considered your shutter speed. It is controlled on this back dial on the 750. Shutter speed for natural light, and this is all natural because we'll talk about studio when you're with me. Your shutter speed is how quickly your shutter opens and closes. The smaller the number, the longer your shutter stays open. So for most photography portraits, we never go below 100 because if you get below that, it creates blur on your subject. So I never, ever, ever go below 100. If you want your subject to be in focus, then you move it up. It captures the subject moving at a faster pace. So your shutter is opening and shutting much quicker, but you're getting less light. So the faster the shutter, the less light that you get. But it also will check to see how much light you get, number one, or how in focus your subject is. So when I shoot specifically with my lights, my studio lights, I don't ever go above a shutter speed of 200. And that has to do with something called a sync speed, which is a setting that strobes have because a strobe can only flash so quickly, and this camera is synced to where the shutter opens as fast enough to where it can capture the subject being lit with the strobe. Anything faster, then you'll get a black bar. So if I put this up to like 320 and take a picture with a strobe, then half of this whole bottom half will be black because the shutter is opening and closing so much quicker than my camera is able to capture it. But for natural light, you want the shutter speed to be, you can bump it up above that. So if the subject is moving, so take for instance a toddler moving, you would want to bump it up above 500. But for a non-moving baby, a baby who's just laying there, you can put the shutter speed at like 160, 200. But the lower that you go, the less light that you will get. So natural light, you can do 125, 160, and that should still be enough light. Your subject won't be blurry. So that is the next part of what they call the exposure triangle. Then the last part to this is this number down here. This is the ISO. So this is the sensitivity of your sensor, your camera sensor when it captures the image. This number starts, let's see. I have to remember this is a different camera than I've been using. So down here, you have to press this button right here in order to change it up here. So let's see if I can do it one-handed. It's kind of hard trying to. Yeah. So I'm holding that button back here and changing the ISO. So how the ISO works in explanation, let me do another part. Hang on one sec.